Hello students, so in this session we will see how the concept of operator overloading is used in C++. Basically when we say overloading an operator or overloading a function or overloading a constructor, so we can have multiple implementations of the same function in the same class, or we can say in the same program. Now when it comes to operator overloading, it's a slightly different concept. See, we have been using different operators, right? So for example, if we take case of this left shift operator, we also call it as a insertion operator, right? Now the same operator is used for different purpose in different scenarios, right? Now similarly, if we take a case of plus operator or binary addition, so this operator can add two integers, it can add two floats, it can add two doubles, and so on, right? Now the thing is that I want to add two objects of user defined class. For example, we have one class called as complex class, and I want to add the two objects of the complex class, right? So can I do that? Unless and until we don't overload operator plus for a specified class, it is not possible to add two complex objects, right? So thing is that operators are very sensitive in the context, okay? Now when we have to go for something called operator overloading, basically we are not going to create a new operators, simply we are going to extend the behavior of the existing operators, right? So while doing so, there are different rules, or there are different what you can say instructions, or there is some syntax which we need to follow. Now whenever we have to provide our own function called the operator function in a class, we need to use a keyword called the operator. So the syntax is return type, then class name, scope resolution operator, then operator keyword, and then operator name, or we can say placeholder, and in bracket we can have argument list. So this is the syntax for the operator function, right? Now for example, suppose I want to overload unary operator, so I can use their operator name and in bracket ob1 or object1, right? Similarly for binary operator also. So for binary operator we require two operands, okay? So make a note that whenever we need to provide, or whenever we want to overload our operator for our user defined class, in that case we need to provide operator function. Now in this case we are trying to add two complex objects, so we are providing one function called as operator plus function. This function takes one argument of complex by reference. Then inside this operator plus function we have one temporary object called as temp. Now we have object c1 and c2, and we are writing statement like c3 equal to c1 plus c2. So real part of c1 is 2.50 and real part of c2 is 1.60. so addition of these two should be the real part of c3, which is 4.10. Similarly, imaginary part of c1 is 3.50 and imaginary part of c2 is 2.70. so addition of these two has to be 6.20, which will be stored in c3. So here we have return type as a complex, right? So we have one temporary object temp, and this temporary object adds the corresponding real part and imaginary part, and the final value of temp is written to the function, okay? So here we need to overload plus operator. Now there are certain rules which need to be taken care while overloading operators. The first rule is only existing operators can be overloaded, so we cannot create a new operators. Second rule is the overloaded operator must have at least one operand that is of user defined type, right? So if at all I have to add two inbuilt types, there is no need of operator overloading, because the C++ language providers have made this provision already in language. Third is we cannot change the basic meaning of operator, that is to say we cannot redefine the plus operator to subtract one value from other. See, the functionality of plus is to add to user defined types or inbuilt types, so plus cannot be used for some other purpose. That is the meaning of it. Fourth rule is overloaded operators follow the syntax rules of the original operators, they cannot be overridden, okay? And fifth rule is there are some operators that cannot be overloaded, right? So there are four operators which cannot be overloaded, like membership operator, scope resolution operator, size of, and ternary operators. Except these, all other operators can be overloaded. Next rule is we cannot use friend functions to overload certain operators, right? Next rule is unary operators overloaded by means of member function takes no explicit arguments and return no explicit values, but those overloaded by means of a friend function take one reference argument, okay? So whenever we need to overload unary operators, it must take one explicit argument. Next is when we are going to overload binary operators through member function, it can take one explicit argument, and those which are overloaded through friend function, they take two explicit arguments. So make a note that while overloading unary operators using friend function, there has to be one explicit operator, and for overloading binary operators through friend function, there has to be two explicit operators. Whereas when we are overloading unary operators as a member function of a class, in that case there is no explicit argument to be provided for unary operator, but binary operator requires one explicit argument to be provided. Next rule is when using binary operators overloaded through a member function, the left hand operand must be an object of the relevant class. Okay, and the last rule is binary arithmetic operators such as addition, subtraction, multiplication and division must return a value. There has to be return statement. They must not attempt to change their own arguments. Okay, so they should not be changing their arguments. So in that case, it's always good practice that pass them as a constant or by reference. Okay, so these are certain rules which we need to take care in operator overloading. So the demonstration about the same will be shown in the next video. Okay, till then, bye bye.